Yeah, I mean, it's literally what we just talked about in the locker room. One of the things we had written on the board was, choice versus chance, right? And the choices you make are going to determine a lot of the time the chances you have in life. And the choice you have to make after the Youngstown game is, while you want to enjoy that, is also you have to learn how to flush that too. Because as equally as high as that is, there's equal lows, right? And the corresponding opposite of a game winner is not losing by 20. It's losing at the last second in another game. That's the corresponding opposite. And so you get the beautiful part about sports is it gets to teach you how to handle success and failures, both in postures we talk about all the time, how to handle those moments. And to look back at this and know that every game presents its own unique opportunities and challenges. And I said at halftime, I don't like to do these talks at halftime where I say we're going to have to make some shots, but you're going to have to make some shots. And I put it on our guys, like you're going to have to step up and make shots because the games where you guard, and we guarded well enough to win, it's a make or miss game. And you can look at the box score. I mean, it's dang near dead even straight across the boards. And you make one more shot or you get one more stop, that's the game. And that's the breaks. That's the breaks. And just like how Youngstown probably felt last week, I mean, we're going to feel this one. We're going to have 9 days to sit on this till we get back to the Crest and play PFW and Youngstown. So you can either use it or lose it.
Sonny, when it came to the first half shooting, did you feel like it was you guys just weren't in rhythm with the things you were doing yourselves, or do you feel like they were getting you guys out of rhythm? What kind of happened there?
I think it's a little bit of both. But, we talk about rewarding rhythm. That's one of our keys to games we play zone teams is you got to reward rhythm. And you have to be ready for that moment of opportunity. When that good pass comes or that swing pass comes, you got to be hips down, hands ready, and reward that rhythm shot. And I get frustrated because I'm sitting over there and I got some really good shooters on my team that are not looking at the rim. Or good shooters that get a rhythm pass and don't shoot it. And in games like this where you're playing a really good defensive team, because Northern Kentucky's ahead, they've hung their hats on being a really good defensive team, one of the top ones in this league. And they're going to force you into tough shots because they got long closeouts. They got really good recovery guys and really good recovery guys. And so you better reward that rhythm when it happens. And I just told my guys in the locker room, like, I'm tired of telling guys on the floor to shoot the ball. I'm tired of it. If you don't want to shoot the ball, you can sit on the bench. I'm like the only coach in America who's literally yelling at guys to shoot the ball. I don't know what coaches in America have to yell at guys to shoot the ball. And I'm talking about good shooters in rhythm. And so it's not a confidence issue for me. That's something that players have to work on and know in those moments. Anybody can go win a game. It doesn't have to be Noah. It doesn't have to be a coach drawing up a play. It doesn't have to be a starter. It can be anybody on the floor at that time to step up and go win the game. And what we've prided ourselves in having those guys that have all stepped up in these moments. And I thought some of us, we shied away a little bit tonight. And that's disappointing because we don't ever lack confidence. We don't ever lack belief. And that was frustrating from my end. And those guys know that, and we got to learn from it, go to the teach tape, and get better.
No, can you kind of just?
Yeah, so I was just dealing with a sickness and illness, so I've just really been trying to get my wind back. I dealt with some leg issues today, just from probably a lack of hydration. I went to the hospital yesterday just to get an IV drip so I could be a little more prepared, but sometimes even that's not enough. But I'm happy I was able to get a game underneath me after coming back, so I could feel it, and yeah.
So you were okay with your team shooting in the first half those threes when they weren't falling? I mean,
that's what we got to do. I mean, we lead the league in 3-point makes, and we were prior to this night the best percentage team in the league. So I'm not going to have my guys gun shy out there, but I'm also going to challenge you. Like if you're wide open, like we preach in practice, game shots, game spots, game speeds. So the only reason why I believe that shots don't go in is because your training, maybe you default to the level of your training, and maybe your preparation shooting shots throughout the course of the week wasn't good enough. Maybe you weren't shooting game shots, game spots, game speed in practice. It's the only thing I can fall back on. Because up until this point, our guys have been pretty nails from beyond the arc. But as the season goes on, the legs go, you got to continue to stay sharp, you got to stay in shape, and you got to shoot the ball. That's a separator.
Noah, having 9 days off, how tough is it going to be for that when you guys want to bounce back so bad?
Yeah, I mean, this one really stings. I mean, you can look back on so many things. I feel like that possession at the end, isolation with Warwick's probably gonna sit with me for a while, just because I know I'm a better defender than that, and I'm more capable. So that one's probably gonna hurt.
So I mean, what do you do now? What do you plan on doing now with this much time off?
Yeah, I mean, guys, just we're always rest, recover, get right. Doesn't change. You know, at the end of the day, like the blessing that we have is everybody's healthy right now going into this 9-day stretch. So you can continue to stay sharp and work on your skills. I think in this point in the season, there's a fine balance between, you know, practicing and really going at it and just staying sharp and staying skillful. And it's a lot of mental stuff right now. It's just the continual process of the preparation. And so the great teams, the great players, they have an individual accountability to themselves, to the team goal. And so it's a lot of it, you know, coaches we're gonna practice, we're gonna do what we do, but it's in those invisible hours we talk about a lot that you have to get in the gym and stay sharp and continue to, you know, put yourself mentally in that position just like this. We've been in a lot of close games. We're gonna continue to be in a lot of close games. We've got the hardest stretch of any team down the final 4 games here left. And so I told our guys, like, we're gonna do it the hard way. This is who we are, it's who we've been all year long. We ain't shying away from it. We never asked for easy. There are a lot of people that ask for easy in this life, and we ain't asking for easy. So we're going to do it the hard way, and if the chips fall in our favor, it's going to be one hell of a ride. And win, don't win, conference, whatever, first, second, whatever happens, like I know, like I told our guys in this locker room, what they've done in the 11 months that we've been here. It's March 13th next month. Right, March 13th will be a year. In the 11 months that we've been here, has been something remarkable. We ain't done yet. I ain't stopping. And so if anybody wants to stop right now, they can go on, pack their bags and go on vacation or spring break somewhere else. Get on the banana boat with those old guys from the NBA, you know, and go hang out down in Cancun. Like, we're here for the fight.
Noah, can you walk us through just that last, you know, inbound play? It seemed like they kind of just immediately collapsed on you and kind of threw that.
Yeah, I mean, I felt like I got a good look at the rim. You know, there's been a few times this year where I felt late game, like the team has trusted in me to pull through, and eventually I just got to get the job done. So there's nothing more to that. I got a good look, and I just missed. So
I'll add on it. I mean, it's chess, not checkers. Okay, and just like the Youngstown game or late game situations, we ran our play, and he goes to Noah, and they did a good job of just doubling that real quick and making a tough look on him. And I'll say this, he's really hard on himself because he's an elite player, he's an elite leader, he's an elite human being. And we always remember the losses more than the wins, always. And that's what makes us great, because the competitors distort the reality and they remember all that stuff that happened, and they continue to put logs on the fire, so to speak. And this dude right here, like, we're not anywhere where we would be without him. So whether he's going to distort his reality, I mean, there's a big piece of this puzzle that's sitting right here, and it ain't just a loss. It's a lot of wins too, and it's a lot of leadership. And that's what I love about this guy, is that he continues to just drive himself in an elite way and show up every single day for his team, for his family, for his brothers. You just don't, and for a guy like this to stick to the culture code, come off the bench tonight because, you know, you got to practice multiple days to be able to start in the game. To do that, I mean, as a coach, I'm just telling you right now, like, I'm really, really blessed. I'm lucky because these guys in that locker room, they believe in bigger things than themselves. They believe in the bigger mission than themselves, and that's what makes it special. And people can write and talk about wins and losses and all that stuff, but they don't get to live the life I get to live. Pretty lucky guy right now.
Was that play designed to go to Noah on the last one?
There's 2 options. Yep, we ran our little wheel route and tried to go to Noah, and if Noah was open, we were going to give it to him and let him make a play with 2.5 seconds. If not, we'd have another second option off of that. But we got the first option, and he's always going to be our first option.
Look at the atmosphere here at the Resch. Obviously, it wasn't like this beginning of the year. Now you see it. It's not a full house, but it's a pretty packed house. What does that say to you about the community involvement and the atmosphere that you kind of created around this program?
Yeah, I mean, I'm always excited when, you know, you look up and you need to stop and the crowd's going. I mean, it's 2,400, and it always seems louder than 2,400. I think right now we're sitting 4th in the league in attendance during conference season, which, you know, should be better if you're the number 1 team in the league. Now, Wright State's averaging about 3,400 a game, 4,200 a game, and then you got Youngstown about 3,500, and then you got, I think we're right in that mix, the 2 teams about 2,500 and 2,600. And so, like, down the stretch, like, I'm really calling the arms right now. It's like, the Packers ain't playing anymore, all right? The Packers ain't playing anymore. And so come senior night, you know, here next week, like, we're going to really, I told them, we really need you. And they were great tonight, and we just needed one more stop or one more shot. They were great tonight. and they're going to continue to be great. But we need the crest. Like I said, like, don't take special for granted. I've said this before. The women's basketball team, I got a lot of love, a lot of respect for Coach Borseth and what they do, because winning is hard, and doing it for a high level for a long period of time is even harder. And they've always showed, the fans for the women's team have always showed up and showed out. I'm on record saying that. And we're at a point right now where, like, we need the blue bloods and the diehards and the blood and the bricks people to come on out in Crest to show up and show out for us. Because I'm telling you, we need them to be there, because the hard stretch coming down the pipe, we need everything. We need all the mojo, all the juice, all the love. We need it. And that's the call to arms. And we have to understand this. Like, we can't ask for winning teams and having successful seasons and then not respond to when we're having winning teams and successful seasons. So you can't have both.
Straight up.
You can't not show up after we're winning and say, like, oh, I want you guys to win. You can't. That's hypocritical. So it's, at the end of the day, we show up, we do our job, we treat these young men with the respect that they deserve and they have earned, going from the worst team in the United States of America to top of the league, and one of the best stories and one of the best turnarounds of college basketball. That deserves to be written and respected. Period. End of story.
Noah, do you think this team will come back with a killer mindset down the stretch here? I mean, you guys got some really important games against some really tough teams. What do you think the mindset will be with 8 days away from your next game?
Definitely. I think an underrated aspect of our team is how hard we work behind the scenes. We got some really hard-working guys. I mean, Foster and Rich work out multiple. Everybody works out multiple times a day, but those are some of the two hardest-working guys I've ever been around. So, that's one thing I feel like you probably don't worry about very often, is guys getting in and getting extra shots up and keeping that chip on our shoulder. So, we're number one in the league or whatever we're at, but we still feel like we're at the bottom because, like he was saying, we still don't get the respect from whoever, the fans, the officials, whoever it is. So we're always going to keep that chip on our shoulder and be hungry.
You're DFL till you change it, right? Till the final buzzer goes off. Wherever they set us, slot us out, we're there till we change it. We're there till it goes in the books in the season. And so that's our mentality.
I know Elijah fouled out or officiating one thing, but can you talk about his rebounding? Because he was crashing the boards like crazy.
Plays so.
I mean, he's got. I've been on Elijah about just he has so much more.
14
Is so much more to give, and I'm always telling him he's such a cool, calm, collected, casual human being, man. He's like one of the coolest vibey guys I've ever been around.
Smooth.
And he's so smooth, but I'm like, dude, you crank it up a couple more notches, you out here getting 20 rebounds. Seriously. But that's the choice he has to make, all right, to improve his chance at getting more and wanting more. And he's so good at letting the game come to him, but sometimes I want Elijah, I want to go take it. And tonight he took some of those rebounds, man, and he kept us in the game in the first half with his rebounding and his winning plays. He was flying all over the place, and I think got a couple bad calls that kind of set him on the bench, which we needed him out there because he was the guy making all the winning plays for us.